Hello everybody and welcome back. Today we are going to be ranking all of the boss battle themes in Hollow Knight. Silksong is out, so we got plenty more to go to. Thank you guys so much for your support on the Minecraft music tier list video. If this video gets 10 likes, I'll go ahead and do the Silksong OST next, but let's go ahead and get into this tier list. Alright, so first up we have the theme Decisive Battle. This is really cool. I really like this theme. It sounds cool. It has some interesting elements in it. It's got some harpsichord, or harpsichord? Hold on. I have the world's knowledge at my fingertips. Harpsichord. There's some harpsichord in there, and it just sounds fun. It's fun to listen to. Overall, I think it's pretty good. I don't know if it's something that really stands out to me as something that's wholly unique, but it does sound different. It has a lot of interesting elements in there, and for that reason, I think we're starting off strong. We're gonna put Decisive Battle at A tier. Second here on the list, but really the first major boss that the player has to encounter. False Knight is a very interesting song in terms of, again, overall themes. It doesn't really stand out on its own. It's not really something that's super unique. It's kind of your generic video game boss music. But what I like about it is that it still really has a lot of the adventure elements that you would hear just kind of walking around. I think it holds a special place in people's hearts, but I don't necessarily know that that's warranted. I do like that this is kind of the first major boss that you really encounter, but I don't really know that that kind of puts it as high as it does on my list, where it does for a lot of other people. So for that reason, I'm going to put False Knight at B tier. Next up, we have Hornet. There's a really interesting, syncopated thing that's happening towards the end of it, in the second half. I love when songs have an interesting B-side to it, you know? I think that this song is just really energetic and really kind of pulls you through that fight and kind of carries the tension that should be there with boss battle music. And so I really like this song, and for that reason, I'm gonna put Hornet at S tier. Next up, we have the Mantis Lord's theme, which I think is pretty good. It definitely carries the tension that most boss battle themes need to have in video games. I feel like that harpsichord sound that we're gonna hear here is gonna pop up a lot more. You know, looking with the three that we got up there's already some really good ones, and it's nothing against the Mantis Lord's theme. I think it's very interesting. It's just very short, and honestly, it kind of just loops in on itself too quickly. I think making songs that loop in on themselves like that are fine, but you just need to kind of find the right length to kind of let it ride out and let it fully develop and then bring it back to what it used to be. For that reason, I think that Mantis Lords is going to go a little bit lower on my list, a little bit more in that mid tier, and so I'm going to put the Mantis Lords theme at C. Next up, we have Dung Defender. This is one of my favorite bosses that I've seen in this game so far. I actually really enjoy this, so I'm going to try to not let that influence musically too much. Because if this were just on the boss design and character design alone, this would be S tier. But again, it just kind of feels like it lacks a little bit of identity. It feels a little bit kind of like generic adventure music #1, and that's not bad, as much as it pains me to say it. Dung Defender is going to be at B tier. Now we have Soulmaster. I'm gonna keep this one real quick. I love this theme. This was one of the only theme songs that was on my personal Spotify playlist until today. This is it. This is one of the only ones. There's another one on here. I'll let you know when we get to it. You're gonna have to wait later in the video to see that. But Soulmaster, Soul Sanctum, the boss theme, goes S tier. You know what? We're even gonna put it in front of Hornet. This might be my favorite song in all of Hollow Knight. You gotta watch, find out. Next up, we have Crystal Peak. This is a very interesting track because it kind of doesn't sound like all of the other songs that you would find in Hollow Knight. All these other songs are made with, these synthesized instruments and MIDI and things that you would normally find in video game soundtracks. But this seems to be like an actual recording of somebody playing guitar. And I really like that. I really like when you can tell that music is being performed. Somebody had this guitar and they had a song and they thought, hey, this could fit. Additionally, being a guitarist, I can tell you that the pinch harmonics that they're pulling off are very hard. So the person that's playing this is very skilled. Either that or they have a guitar that is set up perfectly for them. I really do like this song. I just don't know that it's as energetic and as tense as boss battle music should be. I know these kind of ramp up as we progress, but I really like the Crystal Peak music. I think that if you're looking for just something nice to listen to, this definitely fills that void. So I'm gonna put Crystal Peak at A tier. Now we've come to Broken Vessel. From what I understand about this boss fight is something that's going to leave a lot of people in tears as I'm talking about this. I've only watched Hollow Knight be played by Dandy Dragons, twitch.tv/Dandy Dragons. You can catch them there. So I'm very excited to see how they react to this one. And they are in the other room, so I'm going to keep this very musically oriented. I think this song is tense. It pulls you through from section to section. It has this kind of nice melodic hook that you keep hearing, and I mean, it kind of fits a little bit more with the Hollow Knight vibe, because it is so dark and it's not so energetic and, you know, the spirit of adventure, if you will. My problem, though, is that it does just, again, kind of sound like generic, unique box music. It's not bad, but at the same time, it's not something that jumps out. And so I'm going to put Broken Vessel at A tier, which is still where I put a lot of my favorites. A tier is not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. Nosk, however the hell you say it. It's all right. Not bad. Not great. Pretty middle of the road. And for that reason, I'm going to put it at the middle of the road tier. It goes in C tier. I don't know how to describe the collector's theme. It's interesting, but at the same time, it doesn't sound great, but it's not the worst thing to listen to, because you can tell that phase shift, which is what that effect is called, is done on purpose. I don't think it's a terrible effect, but phase shifting is not really something that I'm into. I think you really have to do it right. The collector's theme does too much, and it takes a good thing and it really hurts the song, because at the end of the day, you can't really hear what is happening underneath. As somebody who has put out songs that have used phase shifting before, a lot of times what happens is it cuts out your lower ends, cuts out your higher ends, and it keeps kind of just the middle frequencies when you're going to EQ. And so you have to add those back in, otherwise your song feels like it's lacking. You'll have a lot of body, but you won't have a lot on either end. It's not something that's necessarily interesting to listen to. I don't hate the collector's theme, but I'm not a huge fan of the collector's theme. I really think that they could have done with just doing less phase shifting overall. But at the end of the day, I respect what they're trying to do. Obviously, they did it on purpose. It's not like this is here because they wanted to put in something bad. They were trying something and it didn't work. As an artist, I can respect that. And for that reason, the collector's theme is going to go at the very front of B tier. The Queen's Gardens, let me tell you, if this was like a menu music tier list, S tier, absolute top. This is a great song, and I really love it. This is a boss battle music tier list, and this song is not boss battle music. It is not thrilling. It is not tense. It is not exciting. There are those staccato chords that are happening in the background. That's just a sense of urgency. It's a sense of action. It's not a sense of rising tensions. And for that reason, because this is a boss battle music tier list, I don't think that this song is great boss battle music. And so Queen's Gardens is going to go very first in the video at D tier. The very first one in the video to go this low. And there's no F tier. At the end of the day, it's all music. It's all good. Again, I still think this is a good song. It's just not great boss battle music. If you think differently, let me know in the comments below. Next up, we have Dream Battle, which again, I don't think is a bad song, but better menu music than it is boss music. At the end of the day, kind of all the same complaints that I had with Queen's Gardens. I'm gonna put Dream Battle at D tier. Sealed Vessel is one of the most epic tracks on all of Hollow Knight. I don't think that this is the top of the tier list. This is something that I really enjoyed listening to. It is a beautiful score. In my opinion, when you have tracks like this, and then you have some tracks like Dream Battle and Queen's Garden, it just kind of shows me that you were working on specific things, and other things you just kind of said, it's good enough. I don't hate any song on this, but it's very obvious that just some of them had a little bit more inspiration or time or effort, and then other ones just kind of feels like it was like, let's get it done. Sealed Vessel, I absolutely love. I thought this was such an epic song, and so I'm gonna put it up at S tier. When I think of video game boss battle music, I think of Radiance. This track is maybe a real orchestra. And it's got a lot of choir, it's got a lot of these epic elements that kind of like, I'm sitting here in my room, not even playing the game, listening to the music, and my heart rate is going up, my blood pressure is going up, and I'm like, damn, I have to do this boss fight. And I think that's what's important in boss battle music, is that it's something that's not necessarily going to bring you comfort. Like, menu music or like home base music or something like that. It's music that's there to get you excited, to get you scared, to get you tense, and to tell the story of the boss that you're fighting. And I think that this does it really well. I really like it. And so Radiance is going to go up at S tier. Next up, we have our boss battle from Hidden Dreams. This is Truth, Beauty, and Hatred. And I love this track. Although it doesn't really, again, bring those kind of tension and stress that I would expect from a boss battle theme, especially, again, in Hollow Knight. I'm pretty sure that all of these tracks were produced by a man named Christopher Larkin. I'll fact check that and put a correction, I guess, if I'm wrong, so you'll see that on screen if that is the case. But if that is the case, it's very obvious that Christopher Larkin has a style. I don't think it's a bad style. I just don't know if it's like boss battle, epic fight music. And maybe I'm misreading the vibe, especially being from a DLC. I would think that this would be something that is supposed to be kind of the culmination of all of that, and something that's supposed to be big, epic, and grandiose. And it just doesn't have that bigness to it that I feel like it should have. Again, this is my personal tier list, so you may feel different, but I think I'm going to put Truth, Beauty, and Hatred at B tier. Yeah, B for Beauty. Now we get into Hollow Knight, Gods, and Nightmares. And the first one here is Hive Knight. Now, remember when I told you earlier that there were 2 Hollow Knight songs that are on my personal Spotify playlist? This is number 2, because this holds a special place in my heart. I didn't even know what the song was from at the time. It's always been one that has just been a personal favorite of mine. I don't think it's as good as Soul Masters, so I don't want to put it at the top of S tier, but Hive Knight is definitely going up at S tier because it has that personal connection to me. I think I'll put it behind Radiance on S tier. My only problem with the Grim Troop is that it takes a minute and a half to get good. This song doesn't just make me want to fight a boss. This song makes me want to run through a fucking brick wall. I put this on my playlist as we were speaking. This is going to go on A tier. Remember how I said my only problem with the Grim Troop was that it took a minute and a half to get good? Nightmare King does not have that problem. I mean, I'm sitting here listening to it, rocking out, loving and enjoying every moment of it, and actually feeling pretty inspired by it myself. And this does not sound like anything else that I've heard in Hollow Knight. It has a very, very unique sound. It hits that boss battle music on the head. It is tense. It is dark. It is stressful. You could feel the energy of this boss fight, and I think that this is really good boss battle music. But Nightmare King seems to have the reverse issue that Grim Troop has. It doesn't take a while to get started, but it doesn't go on long enough. You leave me wanting to hear more of this and less of what you've had earlier in this video. In a way, it almost kind of detracts. And so because it has those issues, because it could be a little bit longer, because it has more that I want to hear out of it, I don't think it's an S tier. However, I do think that this is really good. And so I'm going to put Nightmare King at the absolute front. If it'll let me do it. Nope. Absolute, there we go. Absolute front of A tier. Next, we have Gods and Glory. The one thing that I'm learning from Gods and Nightmares is that all of the music here is knocking everything else out of the park, capitalizing on the kind of tenseness and the fear and the anxiety that can come with these boss fights. I think the song has a very interesting bridge, kind of another interesting B-side. We get a little bit of syncopation, get a little bit of staccato, just enough to kind of keep you thinking like, oh, listen to that, or oh, listen to this. That's what makes something interesting while you're an hour and a half into this boss fight getting your ass kicked. You at least want to make sure that you have something that's going to kind of break the monotony of it. Again, Gods and Nightmares just seems to be completely blowing everything out of the water. Gods and Glory, the track that we're talking about now, is going to do that as well. And so I'm going to put it up here with everything else in this DLC at A tier. This one might piss a lot of people off, but I think we found our first stinker of the DLC. Haunted Foes is slow, it is boring, it is generic, it's not bad, but again, it's menu music. It's a different kind of vibe, and especially with what we have heard from the Gods and Nightmares DLC, it stands out that it's not as good. And for that reason, I think we have found our first stinker of the DLC. I don't think it's bad, but in a group of greats, you can only be so good. I'm gonna put Haunted Foes at D tier. I just don't think it's good boss battle music. Well, Furious Gods is what I think it sounds like with you typing in my comments right now that I put Haunted Foes at D tier, because this is intense, this is fast-paced, this is exciting, this is epic, this is boss battle music. Gods and Nightmares seems to be knocking it out of the park with the exception of Haunted Foes. Everything here is great, and I like this. However, when everything is great, that means that the best has to be even better. And this is just good. There's nothing that really helps stand out. We'll still put it like, you know, halfway through, but I'm gonna put it at A tier. So it's still like a high A, you know, but not like a low A, like a high A. White Defender is all right. It's not bad. It's based off of the Dung Defender theme, and I think, you know, you hear a lot of the same elements in there. Again, I love the Dung Defender character, but we got to remember, he's up there in B tier, right? It's pretty generic when it comes to the music itself, and it's, you know, B tiers are reserved for good boss battle music, but not really something that stands out. And that's just where I think White Defender is. I don't think that his boss battle music is bad, but at the same time, it ain't making the Spotify playlist. And so I'm gonna put White Defender right up here. I'll put it in front of the Dung Defender theme. I think they're just about the same. And Sisters of Battle is good, but man, is Sisters of Battle short. And I brought that up for other songs here in this tier list, so I want to make sure that I'm staying consistent. And again, I don't hate Sisters of Battle. I just want to hear so much more. And for that reason, I'm going to put it at C tier. Daughter of the Hollow Nest is orchestral, it's dark. I feel like when I describe Daughter of the Hollow Nest, I'm running out of ways to describe the music. It's all things that I've said before about these past tracks. Again, it's all good, but it all just kinda sounds the same. I don't hate Daughter of the Hollow Nest. I don't love Daughter of the Hollow Nest. It sounds like everything else that you've heard in this game, which is still, again, a group of greats, but we are a long way into this tier list, and we're getting to the point where if things don't stand out, they're not going to be as high. And for that reason, Daughter of the Hollow Nest goes like middle of the road C tier. We are down to our final two tracks here, and I want to thank everybody for watching this far. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what video game music you want me to go over next. But now let's get into the last song on the Hollow Knight Gods and Nightmares DLC. Pure Vessel is something that carries just a feeling of dread. When you get to this point and you get to this boss, the feeling of dread is pretty warranted. It sounds like you're, you know, facing off in the final battle for the fate of everything in the world. It is the culmination of your entire adventure through the world of Hollow Knight, and quite frankly, it's a bit of a letdown. I like Pure Vessel, I really do. It's lacking a little bit of that adventure. It's lacking a little bit of that excitement. It's lacking a little bit of the identity that we've heard in other tracks. And this does stand out on its own because it sounds unique. I don't think that it kind of fills that role of technically the final boss theme that you hear in Hollow Knight. Again, I like it, but it's not one of my favorites. I think this is another one where I can hear all of you typing away in the comments below. You know, again, this is about music. This is about my opinions on that music. And for that reason, even though it is the final boss music in all of Hollow Knight, I am putting this at B tier. But like the front of B, in front of the collector. And the last song here is a little bit of a weird one. This is from Silksong. This is Lace. This is a OST sample. So this was Christopher Larkin showing off what he was working on for Lace. I haven't played Silksong yet, so I don't know if this song actually made it into the game, but this is one that I enjoy. I'm very excited was included, and I'm glad that it's here on this tier list. You know, it's not Hollow Knight. It does have a little bit of a different identity from those other tracks. It's not as dark as Hollow Knight music normally is. I don't know if that's kind of the feel for Silksong or if they're going with something different. This is written beautifully. This is mastered beautifully. This is produced beautifully. If this is the kind of music that we're getting in Silksong, then I think they probably fixed a lot of my prior complaints from earlier in this tier list video. I'm gonna put Lace like mid-tier A. It's not really a Hollow Knight track. It's from Silksong, so. And that is the end of all of the boss battle themes in Hollow Knight. Leave a comment below letting me know what video game music you want me to go over next. If we can get this video to 5 likes, then whatever the top comment is will be the next music tier list that I do. And if we can get this video to 10 likes, then we will do Silksong. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so that you're notified whenever I post, whatever I post. I am live over at twitch.tv/EraV1. I have a podcast at 3CountOut. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. Like I said, leave a comment below. Let me know what you want my next music tier list to be. But to do that one, we have to end this video. And so I will see you guys next time. Bye!